Welcome to the Raunchy Power Hour, a book club for discussing romance, from the erotic to the erroneous. As always, this is an explicit podcast and contains strong language, adult themes, and sexual content. If you are sensitive to these things, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now. Welcome to our April Fool's Day episode. Today, Ashlyn and Sydney have no idea what's coming for them. We're going to talk about it, and Ashlyn is going to edit it.
I'm your producer, Ashlyn.
I'm one of the fools, and you can call me April, Sydney.
And like I said last episode, I'm Jigsaw. And welcome to April Fool's Day.
Oh my god.
You want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game?
No, I don't think so.
So, Sydney and Ashlyn, seeing as though this is a very normal and nothing amiss episode of the Brunch Power Hour podcast, I have a question for both of you to answer.
It's totally normal.
Nothing amiss.
Nothing.
No, nothing at all.
Never.
I don't know why you would suggest that.
She's
No,
not
or
holding
soon.
at gunpoint.
No.
Mm-mm.
If there's no video capture, there's no proof.
No video capture yet.
Not yet. Not today, and not ever. My question for this very plain Jane episode, where nothing amiss will occur, is, what are your favorite fanfiction tropes?
Tweet an innocent question that will not have any implications onto what we're about to, what's about to happen at all.
No
Not at all.
consequences. None.
No consequences whatsoever. Ashlyn, do you have a favorite, or are you thinking about it?
I'm gonna admit something dark and deep to both of you.
Usually it's Lauren or I bearing her soul, not Ashlyn, so I'm excited.
Kind of tragic. I have read the most amount of fan fiction I've ever read in my life with you two on this podcast. I am a fan fiction bookmarker, downloader, saver, hoarder. I don't read it a whole lot.
Interesting. So you don't have a favorite trope?
I am a girl of canonical events. So
Interesting. Very,
I
very
have
interesting.
tropes that I like in literature, just in books in general. But fan fiction?
Okay. So, as a seniored fanfic reader, I've been on the ground since the early 2010s. Fan fiction tropes and tropes within books are two very different things.
Absolutely. They're like two different languages.
They basically are. So I will say, God, I hate to say this. Why is the only one that's coming into my head? It's not even my favorite trope, but it's the one that keeps coming into my head. It's just one bed.
That's a classic. That's like,
It's a
I feel like
classic.
that's the cocktail equivalent of like a really classic martini. You know, like,
Yeah, you're right.
even if it's a little on the nose, it hits every time, and you look
It
classy
do.
while reading it.
It is, because it's like you just like, oh, I know exactly what I'm getting in for. It's just like, oh no, there's only one bed. They have to share it.
Yeah.
What will happen?
Oh no.
Whatever's gonna happen. So I would say that's one I enjoy. If we're talking, I'm trying to think of another good one. There's a lot of good ones. I do like a good coffee shop. AU. Those are cute. Those are cute in longer form fanfics.
Delightful picks, delightful taste.
Mhm.
Ashlyn, did you come up with any?
I was about to say, I'm not going into my deep raunchy stuff, even though I got some.
I think the ones that I have read the most of in my foray into the fanfiction world are probably like canonical enemies that are lovers in the fanfiction universe. So like Hermione and Draco, Katara and Zuko, like that vibe is definitely up there.
Got it.
Okay. And would both of you say that you have consumed a lot of media? So not just fan fiction, but like books, movies, short stories that contain these tropes that you like?
Yeah, one could say that, yeah.
I would assume in a social media and just media-filled world that, yes, I have.
Well, listeners, then it's your lucky day, because on today's very normal episode, we are going to be, as your resident book podcasters, going through some very popular and notorious tropes on various fan fiction sites and discussing our opinions on them, possibly providing recommendations, and then giving a short little example that we'll just be reading through of these tropes, so that for those of you at home who may not be exposed to this kind of trope before, you can have a little bit of a taste of what it may be like. That sound good, ladies?
I'm so scared because this is meant to be the April Fool's episode, so I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared of. Listen, just because this episode falls on April 1st, I mean, like, it doesn't mean that I prepared any kind of sick and twisted game that's going to give you nightmares and prevent you from sleeping for the next 3 nights. Why would I do that?
I wish we had video capture because the crazy eyes were there.
I'm getting into character. I should have showed up with jigsaw paint. That would have been great.
You should change your picture to just a still picture of Jigsaw.
Do you want to play a game?
In games we will play.
All right.
So the way that this will work, I have, let me quickly count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 tropes here that, looking on the archive of our own website of their biggest and most used tags for the website, that we'll go through one by one. We'll start with the first. I'll say what it is, and then we could kind of discuss just between the 3 of us, like, oh, is this a trope that we like? Is it what we dislike? If we have any recommendations for our audience of books or fanfics we've read that has this trope, great. I think that's wonderful. And then once we're done with that discussion, we will read a short little fanfic that I found that I think perfectly encapsulates said trope.
Sounds
sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Normal.
Perfectly normal.
Perfect. So to get us started, that was my customer service voice where I'm like lying to everyone. I'm having a shitty day and I want to be nice. And so I go, would you like fries?
It's like someone just going, how are you doing? You go, great. Having a great day. What can I help you with?
Oh my God. Thank you for asking.
You just go up 3 octaves.
Oh, yes. So the first of our tropes that I have prepared for us this evening is domestic fluff.
I am a huge domestic fluff girly. As you guys have seen from my written notes for pretty much every book we've read, I will write out domestic fluff hot in all caps anytime there's a domestic fluff scene. I dig it.
Unless it's the missus and it's all domestic fluff and nothing happens.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think any of it's fluff.
True. True.
None of it makes me happy.
It's
all filler.
It's dry skin, not even fluffy.
So true.
It's epidermis eczema.
Yeah, basically. No fluff here whatsoever. I like domestic fluff as well, especially when it's a pairing where these 2 characters are just like, I'm really sad and nothing is going my way. And you're just like, I just want to see you happy. And just like, go on, like in an AU where it's just going to work and then you come home and you make dinner together. Like it's so sweet.
Social distance when they're cooking.
Oh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or like when what's her name? August carried around Jane in her pocket and her phone when she was like trying to take her around the party, just like and like have her be there. My heart.
I love it.
Trapped in an island with Josh Hutcherson when Josh Hutcherson touched her broken leg.
Yes, because there was a house on this island. Domestic fluff.
Erotic encounters it with Mothman when he's just like, let me feed you these nuts and berries after I fucked your brains out and like made you come a bunch of times.
Down in the bunkers of West Virginia. God.
Down in the bunkers of West Virginia.
West Virginia. God. You'd think I'd be better prepared with like books that I would recommend with domestic fluff. I'm trying to think. Does Legends and Lattes count as domestic fluff? It feels very like wholesome and like cozy and innocent in a way.
I would say, yeah. I would say that is a great example of domestic fluff.
I really enjoyed that one.
That one was really good.
Well,
I can see Ashlyn has not read it. She's just like, nope.
I haven't, and I was thinking of cozy fantasies that I've read, but they all tend to be Brandon Sanderson books because I love Brandon Sanderson with my whole heart. And so they're not domestic fluff because he is a fantasy writer first.
I would
There
say,
is no domestic.
I would say also to an extent, The House on the Cerulean Sea is a very good domestic fluff because it's all about like him, the characters like coming together and creating a and they like learn to be a family and like all that. It's very, very domestic.
So when we talk about domestic fluff, what are like some key components of it? Like, is it like wholesome and innocent? Like, what does it usually entail?
I'm so scared of where this is going, but yes, wholesome and innocent. I'm so scared. I know.
Wholesome, innocent, not necessarily like for couples. It doesn't have to be sexy. It can just be like intimate, which is nice. Like that, I keep coming back to the scene in Social Distance. That is truly one of the best like domestic fluff, just cute scenes I have read in so long. And it's not sexy. It's just intimate, and it's so cute.
Yeah, I think that emotional intimacy is important in stories with domestic fluff. And I think that's why I actually chose this fan fiction that we're about to read, that I'll be dropping in the Important Links channel for you both.
Lauren, I'm scared.
Why? There's no need to be. I dug really hard for a fan fiction that would work for this specific trope.
I'm sure you did.
Okay, why the hell is it not copying? It's not letting me.
Does it know the content of what you're about to drop?
No. Here. Okay, hold on. I got it. Sorry. 1 moment, please.
I can tell this is going to be like traumatizing.
So there it is. There it is. There it is.
I knew you lied to me.
I knew you would lie. I knew you would.
What? You hadn't even read it yet. You don't know what's about to come up.
Just what chapter are we starting on?
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
There's a domestic fluff tag in here.
Well, maybe they forgot to add it.
Lauren, I'm looking at the additional tags right now.
What's wrong?
What is? Can I spoil the last tag?
Go for it.
Please do.
Just Sonic dies, LOL.
That's right, gamers. We're going to be reading one of my favorite fan fictions of all time, Sonic High School. This is a re-upload, so this is not the original author. It's just fanfiction.net. It's like a buggy site, and I hate it. But this originally came from fanfiction.net. And it's a 25 chapter long saga of Sonic and the various Sonic universe characters being your normal high schoolers. And I figured just to give you, obviously, we don't have time to read all 25 chapters, although I highly would recommend. But we're only going to start with one that I think gives a really good taste of domestic fluff. And it's chapter 19, Secret Prostitute. So...
Of course it is.
I love the summary. Warning, another bad sex scene.
Content warning for listeners and Ashlyn and Sydney. Graphic sexual content, mentions of death, specifically decapitation, strong language, one use of sex work related terms in a derogatory manner, and one brief reference to skittiness. So, who wants to be Sonic?
I think I was the blue guy last time we read something. Sonic the Hedgehog. I can be him again, I guess.
Okay. Ashlyn, do you want to be Shadow?
Do I want to be Shadow?
You do, I promise.
Okay, I'll be Shadow.
Okay.
What does Shadow sound like?
Fine.
Okay, yeah, I can
Beautiful.
rock with that. I can rock with that. Let's go.
Okay. Who wants to be Tails?
I'll go for Tails. What does Tails sound like?
Sonic?
Yeah, okay,
Let's go!
So Shadow sounds like this, and Tails sounds like
Tails
sounds like
Tails sounds like his balls haven't dropped yet, but Shadow's has.
Exactly.
So Tails sounds like Toad from Mario.
Not as screechy, but yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll rock with it.
And then, Sydney, will you be Cream the Rabbit?
I don't want to be a character called Cream.
She's really cute. Her voice is kind of like this. Like, she's really sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I could do the narration and any other characters that come up if they have one-liners.
Yay.
Y'all ready?
I'm standing out of stress already. We haven't even started. I just stand.
Y'all remember my birthday episode?
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks right now, yeah.
Remember that.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
All right. Here we go. Chapter 19, Sonic High School. It was now a new day of school, and Sonic went right to school. Sonic had Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. in his backpack since he still had them after explaining what happened to Knuckles yesterday. Sonic scratched his balls along the way, and they were only getting worse.
What happened? What happened?
You look like spilled meat.
Said Sonic to his balls. Sonic got to school, and the first thing he did was bring Charmy's dead head to the theater club, because that was Charmy's favorite thing, and Sonic thought Charmy would like it if they used his face for a mask for the next play now that he is dead. Then Sonic took the rest of Charmy's body and put it outside in a trash can so nobody would look and try to find it and it could be safe and alone. Sonic went to his first class and his second class and even his third class and else and went to lunch, where there were his friends.
Hey, guys.
Said Sonic to them. I could be SBO. Hey, Sonic, said SBO. I am back from the hospital. Where is Charmy and Vector?
Well, they're dead.
Said Sonic.
Victor killed Charmy and we held Vector, so they are both dead. Vector was a bad guy, so we will not be in trouble.
Yeah.
Said,
A little higher. Go a little higher on that.
Oh, this is Tails, not Shadow. Sorry.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's actually really good.
Thanks. Sorry, I got them switched.
That was really good.
They will not come back to lunch anymore. I rescued Sonic and Knuckles Jr.
Oh, that's right. Where are Knuckles, my baby with rouge? I don't know what that means. And Knuckles Jr., said SBO to Sonic and Tails.
There they are. Here you go.
Said Sonic, and Sonic gave the two babies to SBO. What a relief. Sonic
Wait a
was
minute.
tired of
I need to pause. So he was carrying two babies in his backpack.
Because notably, there are two chapters in which there are sex scenes before this one, and they both procreate after those.
Oh.
So wait, why is one baby called Knuckles and why is the other baby called Knuckles Jr.? Is that implying that Knuckles, the baby, had a baby?
So SBO and Rouge had a baby called Knuckles, and then Knuckles Jr., I believe, comes from someone else. I'm not super certain. I'm not caught up on the Sonic High School lore, actually.
I know, listeners, that this is an audio format, so you can't see my blank stare of blinks at Morse code to Lauren
For help. Well,
There is no savior here.
No, and it only gets worse.
I'm so excited.
Sorry.
Sonic was tired of having to take care of babies that were not even his. It is good that Sonic has the best morals of all Hughes School students, because any other person pretty much would not have taken good care of them.
Hey ass butthole.
Said Shadow.
It's my job to do crimes.
Then Shadow laughed and high-fived Sonic for doing a good job. Sonic was the best.
Please explain to Silver what happened,
said Sonic to Shadow.
Okay, I will explain it to him. I wish he was in the same lunch period as us, but he is not.
This is reading like a bad anime dub, and I love it.
I feel like I'm that one white guy that's all of the dubs for every male protagonist.
Oh my God.
Happenbrook. That's what I feel like right now.
Yes. Said Shadow in an explaining way.
I would not high five Sonic.
Said Tails.
His balls are full of poison, and it is easily catchable.
Screamed Sonic. So it is true. You really do have a ball problem, said SBO. It is okay, Sonic. Other people have problems, and your balls are just like theirs.
Okay, but this is different and bad, getting only more worse,
said Sonic with a worrying voice.
Whatever.
It is almost summer,
said Tails.
That means high school is ending soon.
Cool, yeah. I don't know.
Cool, yeah.
Said everyone at the same time because they don't have Discord and it's easier to be in unison when you don't have delays in Discord. Then everyone went to different classes. Tails went to his smart class that he was in with Cream, but Cream was standing outside of the class where Tails went to.
Cream, why are you standing outside the class? Why? Oh, you were standing outside the class. Why?
Said Tails to Cream.
Didn't you hear? Charmy is dead, and it relaxes me so much because now I do not have to break up with him. We can become true boyfriend and girlfriend now, which is spelled capital B-O-Y, capital F-R-I-E-N-D.
Said Cream to Tails in the hallway outside.
I have a question.
Yes.
What gender are Cream and Tails?
Cream is a lady rabbit and Tails is a boy two-tailed fox.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
But we have class now.
Said Tails to Cream.
Forget class, Smarto.
Said Cream shockingly. Cream pulled on Tails' hand until his whole body moved and brought him into a closet in the school.
Oh,
it was
no.
big enough inside. It was big enough inside for sex, is what Tails noticed. Cream locked the door and took off all of her clothing. Tails was so shocked, but he looked at her sexy body and it looked like a beautiful naked man with a foot. Cream took out her vagini and showed it to Tails, and he went nuts. His penis got hard as a printer before her vagina. That's a regular vagina. Why did I say vagina? Looked like a cold cut platter.
How do you take out your vagini out of curiosity?
I don't know.
What, you don't take out your vagina on a monthly basis? You're meant to and clean it.
I didn't know it was removable. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Wow. Cool vagina.
How are we liking this domestic fluff?
So fluffy.
So fluffy.
They are animals.
Oh my God.
I'm really glad I made a point about it being intimate, but not in a sexy way, because that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to. I
hope listeners know that wasn't a bit. We had no idea.
I'm gonna use this from now on. If I just go up to a woman and go, cool vagina.
Cool vagina. Shouted Tails, losing his cool way because he was nervous and excited to miss class and have sex with Cream for first time. Tails took out all of his penis and balls, which were already ready, and he jumped into her invitation-only parts. Tails jumped up and down with his penis inside her, cheering like a boy teen and shaking his fist in the air like the Rocky movies. And Cream was happy because she was not a love expert too. Tails' penis kept getting bigger, and Cream's vagina was already pretty much full of his penis.
I don't.
I just read the next part. What the fuck?
You got company.
Cream Tails, and then he was able to stick his balls under his penis. Tails fit so much genitals into Cream that it looked like there was an upside down couch sofa in her vagina. Tails shook around like a crazy, and Cream was slapping her hands and ears into the doors and cleaning supplies in the closet. Cream then was now trying to make him even more sex-powered by pulling on her boobs far enough out to touch his face like two big melty gummy bears on her body. Isn't this better than the missus?
Yeah, it is. There's plot.
There's plot.
Sorry, I've been just shocked into silence.
There's so much more.
I know.
It's okay, we're almost done.
Eat from these!
Ashlyn, I don't think I've ever heard you laugh so hard.
I'm horrified, Lauren. I really am.
Oh my god. I'm blushing so hard.
It gets better than this, I promise. The other really accurate tag appropriate fics that we have chosen are much better. Screamed Cream, and her voice was breaking like a talking toy that had one of its batteries halfway out, and my brother spilled juice on it. Okay. Tails sucked on her boobies while his penis was still in her and got all the stuff out like he was eating yogurt only with his mouth, and it supercharged him with sex.
What was that?
No.
Ready?
Yelled Tails to Cream, and before she could say a thing, Tails started waving his flying tails, and he flew up with his penis still in her and pointing his penis up so that she went up. It was now stuck against the ceiling.
Lord.
I can't
do this.
I'm about to make my semen. Get ready.
Said Tails, loud over the sound of his own tails was making. Tails flew his tails even harder, and Cream got pushed into the metal ceiling so hard, and it made a dent, and then Tails' penis shot. I can't read that.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna read it because I need to.
No, you have to read it.
Can I read it? I want to read it.
Please do.
Okay. Then Tails' penis shot a gallon of his own New England clam chowder into her first time vagina.
Oh.
We gotta add that to Horrible Anatomy. New England clam chowder.
It's getting added. I'm working on it right now.
I gotta tweet New England clam chowder with nothing else.
What does that mean to you? I'll never see it the same.
It got overfull and spilled plenty on the ground, but not both of them cared. Tails slowed down his tail speed, and his penis got smaller, and so did her vagina. They were both out of breath.
We are true boyfriend and girlfriend now,
said Cream, and hugged Tails. Tails was so happy and shocked that he became true boyfriend and girlfriend before Sonic did with Amy. Cream put her clothes back on and left, and Tails put his on too. Then he looked at his penis and saw a golden ring on it.
What is this? What is it doing here? A big gold ring?
Said Tails, and he took off the bracelet off his penis.
Why was this in Cream's vagina?
He thought about it, and because he was smart, remembered where he saw this thing. At the end of school, Tails ran to Sonic privately and said,
Sonic, look!
What is that?
said Sonic to Tails.
Big gold ring? Cool. Let's sell it for cash.
No!
Tails to Sonic.
This is Amy's bracelet. It creeps vagina.
What?
Said Sonic to Tails.
How'd this get in there?
He took the ring and had it.
I can only think of one thing.
Said Tails to Tails.
Okay, I'm talking to myself now. I do not mean to suggest this to you and say that she is being a bad girlfriend, but maybe Amy was giving Cream hand sex.
What? No way.
Shouted Sonic to Tails. And we can cut it off there.
No, I gotta finish my line real quick. But that's the only thing that makes sense. Amy cheated on me, that loose woman. She's a concubine and a bitch.
She is a concubine and a bitch.
And that's as far as we will be, because the rest is just stupid.
Lauren, I need you to tweet that, no context.
Yeah. Do what?
I need you to tweet, she is a concubine and a bitch. Nothing else.
No context. And then just a photo of New England clam chowder. A bowl of New England clam chowder.
Latest RPH episode out of context.
There's a series of photos of just...
So, how do we feel about this example of domestic fluff? I would argue that that's very accurate and true to the genre.
So very true. So fluffy. I feel so warm and comforted on the inside now.
I'm so glad.
I just, that really might rival the scene from Social Distance that I keep talking about. That was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
Junie, I'm sorry.
We love you, Junie.
We love you too, dear.
Well, are we ready to go to our next trope?
So ready.
I'm sure it can't be worse.
They can't get worse.
No, these are all
fluffy.
These are all perfect examples of the tropes that I'm giving you. I don't really understand what the problem here is. Do we have a problem, ladies? With my choices?
No.
Because if we do,
Lauren, put down the gun.
Lauren.
That's what I thought.
Oh my god.
I actually bought
a gun.
Well, yes. So I'm going to an unnamed convention soon in which I had to purchase a toy firearm. So I have one in my apartment right now that I should have brought, but it's still in its Amazon box. So
wonderful.
Anyway, so next trope, which is not really a trope, but more of a genre, LGBTQ romance with some light sexual content.
Okay.
I have big opinions on this.
Yeah, what kind of stories have you read that you really like with good LGBTQ representation? Do you like how LGBTQ sexual content is handled in the books that you've read? Let's talk about it.
I have such big opinions, and I'm sure I've shared them and not edited them out before. I can't remember if I edited them out. My biggest gripe is not the representation of LGBT. I've had alcohol. I have had alcohol of the LGBT community. My problem is not with representation. My problem is with authors that write, for some reason, specifically lesbian and bi women. They can't just be normal romance. I just want plain, normal, good romance. I don't need a ghost. I don't need murder. I don't need them to be high to have sex. I want good, normal romance. That is all I'm asking for, and I have yet to find it. Thank you.
Got it. So you don't want magical lesbians. Understood.
I'm okay with magical. I'm not okay with one of them being a ghost.
Understood. I would say from what I have read and consumed, I do enjoy some LGBTQ tropes. Not book wise, but TV wise. A good one that I like is Our Flag Means Death. Love that show. Great show. And it was gay. It became gay in the show. Good Omens. Love that. If you read between the lines in the book, love it. Very gay. Love it very much. Read a couple queer stories. I like them too, like Legends for Lattes. Very sweet. Love it. So yeah, I enjoy it. And I enjoy shipping characters together that are sometimes of the same sex, and they should be together, but showrunners are scared.
My favorite queer TV show is BBC's Merlin.
There you go.
So true.
So true.
So correct.
So very gay, and yet no one is gay in that show.
I think I personally really enjoyed some of the books we've read on this podcast. Like One Last Stop was a really cute, sapphic romance. I've also read Cemetery Boys, which has both gay and also like trans representation within a light, good adolescent representation of like romance. So obviously not sexual, but like it's a very sweet romance. I will say they are hunting down the ghosts of like dead relatives and shit, and one of them is a ghost. But
It's
a cute story.
Doesn't want one of them to be a ghost.
I know. But I think what we're all, touching on is the importance of dynamic queer representation in these stories that we read, and having romance be just as accessible to queer communities as hetero communities. And so I would argue that this fan fiction preaches that same concept.
I'm so scared.
So
no.
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 This is actually on the spreadsheet that I have, just so you know.
I know.
Cool.
We can read this in full sometime. I actually think it's quite worth it, but this is just a snippet that I think may entice us.
Oh, I recognize it now.
Yeah.
For listeners, the only content warning here is extreme Christian proselytizing. No gay people in sight.
None.
I need you to know the last line is, "For concerned mommies everywhere. Blessings."
Indeed. The lore of this book is that there's this woman who goes by Grace Ann, who apparently like wanted her kids to be able to like enjoy the Harry Potter books, but was a little bit scared off of the whole, wizards and witches, magic, evil doing kind of plot, that the entire series is based off of, and thought it wasn't in line with her family's Christian values. And so apparently she rewrote Harry Potter, except if it was like a really bad contemporary Baptist church sermon. And it's like hilarious how in your face it is. And this fic is called Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles by Proud Housewife.
I love this for us.
I love this for you too. So I believe all of our like major characters are in this thing. We have Harry, Ron, Hermione, Draco, Luna makes an appearance.
Where's Vampire?
Does anyone have any preferences?
I want to be Ron so bad.
I'm gonna be Ron.
Can I be main character Harry Potter?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. As long as I get to be Luna Lovegood.
Of course.
Of course you can.
Does anyone want to narrate?
Oh.
I kind of got excited, so please, can I?
Yes. Yes.
All right, are you ready?
One more role to give out. Does anyone want to be Hermione or Draco?
I'll take Hermy one.
Hermy?
I could be Draco.
Ashlyn, you get to live out your fantasy. Romance by Draco Malfoy?
Hey!
All right, here we go. Here's the beginning. Potter walked back to the table of redheads. It was only now that he noticed that they were all wearing black and green baseball caps with snakes on them. Tentatively, Harry sat down next to Ronald, who was not wearing a hat, since he, like Harry, was new. So, Harry began nervously, and he bit into a thick, juicy slice of perfectly fried bacon. What sorting hat do you think you will choose?
Oh, I will definitely choose Slytherin.
Ronald declared confidently. He'd begun to eat his oatmeal with his hands.
My whole family is Slytherins.
He gestured to the countless redheads sitting at the table as they all turned to Harry and smiled and waved.
You should become a Slytherin too. We could do it together.
Harry said, utterly ponderless. He took a bite of eggs. Why did you tell me about what Slytherin believes?
Sure.
Ronald replied enthusiastically. He kept eating his oatmeal.
Well, first of all, we believe in the Bible.
It is wonderful! Harry reacted happily as he took a sip of orange juice. I do as well. Perhaps I could be a Slytherin after all.
But wait, that is not all.
Ronald continued excitedly and washed his oatmeal down with milk.
Gryffindor hats believe in the Bible too, but Slytherins have even more. We have a book full of guidelines on how to be a good person, and a whole panel of Slytherin hats to tell us what to do. Are they Mormon?
I was about to say, are they Mormon? I have no idea.
Are they Mormon? That sounds Mormon. I'm so excited.
Wait.
I love the Mormons.
It sounds like they're talking about the Old Testament here a little bit, so I wonder if it's that.
Oh.
Who's to say?
Oh no.
I love the Mormons though. I want it to be Mormon.
No, I have a theory. Mormons are waterproof.
Okay, so for context, one day very long ago before I met Lauren, I was walking to class on campus and it was pouring rain. There was a group of Mormons walking that had no umbrellas, and I texted Sydney and I said, I have a theory that Mormons are waterproof because none of them had umbrellas and they were dry. And I was shocked. Thank you.
So waterproof, confirmed.
I love Mormons.
Harry furrowed his innocent, childish brow, and he took another bite of oatmeal. Harry's also eating oatmeal now, and he questioned confusedly, why do you know that if you have the Bible? Ronald guffawed, and he shoveled oatmeal into his mouth as he replied,
We only have the Bible. Oh, why only have the Bible when you can have even more? Why? Why that? Why? That would be like the only... What on earth?
I don't know.
Why that would be like
only
why?
praying.
That would be like only praying to God.
You know, they could be Mormons. I think Slytherins are Mormons.
I'm so
Potentially.
excited.
Harry gasped in horror as he bit into more bacon. How do you gasp and eat more bacon at the same time? Of course I only pray to God. What else do I pray to?
What about Mary?
Like,
Ron's a feminist.
never mind. Slytherins are Catholic. Figured it out.
Yes, it's even better. I'm so excited.
Ronald poised angrily around a mouthful of oatmeal.
You have to at least worship to her.
You mean the mummy of our Lord? Harry demanded in scandal as he chewed on his bacon. I don't worship her.
Well, then God hates you.
Ron stated simply, and a piece of bacon flew out of his mouth as he did so. Harry was tentative, since he was new to this whole Christianity thing, but he didn't think God would hate him for not worshipping his mummy. On the contrary, he had a hunch God wanted people to only worship him.
Listen to him,
Commented a drowsy voice self-righteously from behind Harry. Harry turned around and saw a girl his own age. Her pale yellow hair was tied into braids, and she wore a tie-dye shirt and faded jeans and flowers in her hair. Peace signs and donkey patches were sewn all over her clothes.
You should not become a Slytherin hat.
The girl continued confidently as she's eating what looked like it's supposed to be bacon, but it did not smell or taste like bacon. I don't know how he tasted the bacon with it just being there, but
Magic.
It's fine. It missed the smoky, meaty taste that bacon was supposed to have. Instead, it tasted like vegetables blended in. Harry would take real bacon over that any day.
You're far too strict.
Harry, skeptically, was not sure about this whole Slytherin business, but the word strict was not kind.
You should become a Hufflepuff hat.
The girl instructed arrogantly and continued to nibble at her breakfast.
That's what I'm trying to do. Or going to do. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Also, wasn't Luna in Ravenclaw?
She definitely was.
Love that.
Well, I mean, Ron's in Slytherin in this one.
True. What do Hufflepuff hats believe in? Harry wondered aloud as he took a bite of his real bacon. Harry wanted to find the true hat.
Hufflepuff hats believe in the Bible, but only some of it.
Luna explained casually as she was feeding on that stuff.
We don't believe in the stuff against fornication and drinking and socialism, but we really like Matthew 7:1, and that's about it. We're really fun, and we seem really nice and really tolerant as long as you agree with us.
Then a derisive laugh echoed through the cafeteria. A smug-looking young man about Harry's age with slicked back hair, even paler than Luna's, was wearing a sweater vest, and khaki strode languidly down the rows of tables.
Please, ignore this fool.
Draco drawled smugly.
Luna here thinks she can have a career even though she's a woman, and women are stupid.
Harry gaped at this horrible person. What a mean thing to say. Women should not have careers because women are stupid. What? Let me read that again. Women should not have careers because women are stupid. Harry shouted.
Shouldn't not.
Double negative. Great. Harry shouted indignantly. Women are not stupid at all. Women should have no careers because women are nurturing and loving, and their gift serves them best in the home. Draco guessed tentatively.
You are diluting the truth. Women are beneath men.
You are not, Harry fired back bravely. You are twisting the truth so you can be mean with it. Women are not beneath men. Men and women are just different. Luna smiled at him greatly. Draco was clearly fumbling from the ground here. There is not much ground to stand on when you are being hateful, but he finally came up with,
Well, at least I don't eat Slytherin hats. I hate Slytherins.
Ronald began to cry into his oatmeal. Oh, no. I don't hate Slytherin hats, Harry declared boldly. They should become Gryffindor hats, but that's because I love them, because the Lord ate with sinners all the time.
Thank you, Harry.
Ronald whispered tearfully.
Well, you should just become a Ravenclaw hat, like me.
Draco spluttered blusterily.
We really are the best hat.
I think you mean we really are the most hateful hat, Harry corrected cleverly, and then he jumped onto the table and he got down on his knees and raised his hand to the ceiling of the Great Hall and he bellowed, Dear Lord, I've made a decision. I am a Gryffindor hat.
There's no blessings.
Also, Matthew 7:1, judge not and ye not be judged.
Sorry, I totally thought there was Hermione in this chapter. I suppose not. Maybe she's a sinner.
She's a muggle. It makes sense.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
God.
She's the unsaved, so they have to proselytize to her to get into a house.
It's an awesome God he brings. Okay,
Yeah.
so wait. Ravenclaw hat. So what we've come to understand, Slytherins are Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Ravenclaw hats are just I don't know. I think
I don't know
Baptists and and Hufflepuffs are Democrats.
I think they're Methodists, but potato.
Potato.
Oh, okay. Someone's
I
actually
don't know.
done research. So, Gryffindor is evangelical. Slytherin is lukewarm Catholicism. Or I'm sorry, Slytherin is Catholicism. Hufflepuff is lukewarm Christianity, and Ravenclaw is extremist Christianity.
Ooh.
And the plot is that Voldemort is going to make Christianity illegal.
Love that.
And Hagrid is an evangelical missionary, and that's how Harry gets to Hogwarts.
Yeah, the first chapter ends with Hagrid going, "You're a Christian, Harry." Like, actually. Yeah.
Albus is married to Minerva McGonagall, and their daughter is Hermione.
Oh, so they...
Interesting.
So we're gonna read this, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Cool.
We're going to get shit-faced and then read it.
We should do another drinking game.
Every time they say the word God, you'd perish. And then you see God.
You just die.
But then he rises back from the grave.
It's true.
Her.
Oh my
Fierce.
God.
Guys, can I tell you about a shirt I saw? And this relates to this. It was a shirt and it says, "He has risen," talking about Jesus. But it's Jesus about to dunk a basketball, and risen spelled RISSEN, as in risen.
Oh.
I don't think there was a lot of LGBT representation in that one, Lauren.
No, I don't feel like there was.
Are you sure you're sending the right links?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm fairly certain somewhere in the lukewarm Christianity bit, Luna was like, I eat out
they
women.
don't. They did say they don't go with the fornication bit, and that is very gay. So
Gotcha.
See, representation.
Okay.
So, what about the pregnancy trope?
oh god, that's just gonna be
Okay. So I am going to take a wild stance compared to my comrades here on the RPH podcast. I'm not going to say I like the pregnancy trope. That's quite a stretch. 99.9% of books throw the pregnancy trope in way too soon into a character's like combo relationship for me to enjoy it, because it's like, we met 9 weeks ago, pregnant, and it's like, okay, so whatever. There's a couple times where I'm like, good for them. That is very rare. However, I know the RPH girlies hate it with the passion that is undignified.
Yeah, no, not a huge fan. Mostly just because it's used always as like an ending thing where they're just like, and we had kids, and it's like, that's just bad writing. If it's in a domestic fluff fic, so it's one of the characters taking care of the other one while the other character is pregnant, I'd be down. I'm okay with it.
Or when it's used in fantasy books where we have set up the world that it's really difficult for this like race of people to get pregnant, and then every effing one of them gets pregnant within the span of the book.
Yeah.
Enraged.
Yeah. I know a not great example of the pregnancy trope. Literally the book we just read. The Missus.
Ding, 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 ding.
Terrible example.
Yes.
Block that out.
I wonder if Ashlyn will fight me on this, but there is a certain couple in a very popular fantasy series, and one of the characters gets pregnant pretty soon after they get together.
Mouth it. Don't say it out loud, just mouth it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I have big opinions on that.
Oh, you do? Okay, I do too. I feel the same way. We're not going to spoil it for those who have not read it.
I like them. I like them together.
I like them together.
And if they got pregnant at the end, very end, I would be like, great
Would have
for
loved
them.
it.
the fact that it happens before everything goes down makes me angry. There's
Same.
no reason.
Especially for the fact she's just like, I'm gonna be a boss babe and I'm gonna learn all these really hard tools, and then I'm a wife and a mom, and it's like
That is like one of the like times the pregnancy trope is like okay-ish to me, because I like them as a couple. I think that they're going to stay together. I think that kid is going to end up in a great home. There's a ton of time that passes between them meeting and them deciding to have a kid. Like, I'm totally okay with that. It's literally when it's like, we met 9 weeks ago, baby, the missus. Like, that's where I have beef.
Mm-hmm. Hey babes, I hate to tell you, the timeline within that book is not that long. They meet and then they get married, and then by the end of the book,
I thought it was like a year.
No, it's 3 months.
it's 3 months.
No, not the missus.
No. We're talking about
I know. I don't know if Lauren is.
Oh, I was talking about the missus.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
I don't think Lauren was.
No, I'm talking about the book. It is only a couple months. It's like only a few months.
I'm looking it up because now I gotta know.
Because you got to remember the duo book you're meant to read alongside it. That was only a couple months too.
If it helps, Twilight
She's
was
concerned.
also collectively, Bella and Edward's relationship together was also less than a year
Yeah.
before they had Ratatouille.
Ashlyn is concerned in doing deep research.
Well, okay, so it had to have been more than 3 months, because at the end, the very end, when it gets revealed to us, she's 2 months pregnant.
Oh, I didn't know she was that far along.
Yeah, okay.
Wait. Anyway, pregnancy trope, not a favorite. Womp womp. Especially when it also gets ruined when someone's like, oh, and then here's their baby name, and it's like something so out of pocket, and you're like, that character would not name their child that. It's like naming a character's baby Renesmee, and you're like, what did you
Yeah.
just call it?
I think as someone that is anti-kid in general and believes that society would be better if we were born and then we skip to being like at least 13 years old. I hate it. I hate it with a fiery burning passion. And, you know, obviously choosing a fic that was based on pregnancy, you know, it was a really difficult thing for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you will all enjoy the sacrifices that I have made in this particular selection, because I think it really just does the art, the beauty and the art of pregnancy really well. Sydney, this one's for you.
Oh, I'm so scared.
What is this?
No.
Lauren, what is this? What is this?
This is an Alpha Omega Dean Winchester times OC male pregnancy where Dean gets pregnant with a pop child. And this is the birth. This is chronicling the birth.
I can't.
So we get to learn anatomy today.
I can't.
This is an educational opportunity. Okay, we get to see.
The problem is that I've read stuff like this before and I don't need it.
I know you
I
don't.
need to go back to this dark time in my life.
Hey, look how short it is. There's only one.
Right.
Oh, sorry, no, it's just the first one. It's just the first one.
There are 4 chapters, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't look past the beauty of the first. I was enamored by the story that was told. Ahem. So, who wants to be Dean?
Based on the first line, I absolutely refuse to be Dean. You, I could be threatened with many things, and I would not be Dean.
It's just Dean and narrator, so one of us is gonna sit this one out.
Oh my god.
Who's it gonna be? Rock, paper, scissors?
And my torture now.
I lose these.
Rock, paper, three-way rock, paper, scissors? And winner gets to sit out? Okay, we're gonna go in.
We're doing a threesome of rock, paper, scissors.
We're gonna go and shoot. Like 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Sid wins.
Dang.
Because we got 2 rocks and a paper. Yeah, let's go.
All right, Ashlyn, you're narrating.
Oh, I don't want to do this to myself.
Speed read. Get through it fast.
Sorry, I'm just reading this and it's like so triggering.
I'm reading fast. Gotcha.
I need y'all to know that I found this one because I literally typed in the words worst supernatural fan fiction ever. This was number 2 under a Glee Kurt Hummel fan fiction overlapping with supernatural, in which I'm pretty sure Kurt Hummel gets beat the shit out of.
Love that.
Lovely. Gay representation.
That's what I should have picked for that one.
This is Praise the Lord by F.A. Question. Chapter 1. The Green.
I don't like it.
The rhythmic creaking of the bed, the occasional thud of it hitting the wall, the sweaty groans from the man above, and the unmissable stench of dirty sex was all that could be felt in the king's room in the palace. The pace which the king was setting was brutal. Being in the 4th month of the pregnancy, you would assume what on earth? Being in the 4th month of the pregnancy, you would assume the father to be a bit gentle towards his Omega, but not in this household. That's all what the Omega was for, after all, to fuck and breed. Meant to give as many pups as he could to the king so that the blood lineage would carry on, even if there was a war in the distant future that could take many lives. Dean had already...
I know. I'm sorry. I hate to do this. I wish listeners could see my face. Like, I just looked at the camera at myself and it's just a pure face of disgust and horror.
Disgusted.
Yeah. But you want to know why?
Why?
Because you would have eaten this up in high school.
I would have, and that's what ruins me.
Shame is a multifaceted transdiagnostic trait in the world of psychology for a lot of bad shit.
Lauren, we don't need your paper. I think I'm just horrified and I'm just scared because like the writing is just too close to what I've read before. And I hate it. And like every bone in my body.
Do you get
the way we're not even through the first paragraph? Dean had already birthed 4 pups in the last 2 years. He was pregnant with his 5th and brutally getting railed by his alpha. Tears streamed down his face, and the pained gasps that betrayed his mouth all added to the symphony of the royal bedroom.
Please, my lord, a bit slower, please. That's how he sounds,
Dean
right?
whimpered. Oh, God. Dean whimpered when the thrust got to the point of jackhammering. It was simply met with a throaty chuckle. And also a few more powered thrusts. His lord wouldn't miss an opportunity like that.
Man. You know?
Screamed Dean.
The pup. My lord. Please. Who's James?
And with that, James, the king, tightened his arms across his Omega's neck, put the entire weight of his hefty body over the hips, and jackhammered his thrust into Dean and came with the string of the raw groans.
The raw groans.
The raw groans. Dean choked somewhere midway and... Choked? Is that supposed to be choked?
I think so.
Yep.
Dean choked somewhere midway and lost consciousness. It doesn't remember if he came or not. Not that it matters. Such was the Queen Omega's life in the kingdom of Zal.
This is a whole universe that I don't
know. I don't know any of this.
they just stuck Dean Winchester in this purely OC universe.
They truly did, and this I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Anything is a passive affair these days. With the violent coupling of the night before and the heavy belly Dean was carrying, it was near impossible for him to crawl out of the bed and clean himself for the day. He liked bath time, though. It was
Me too.
The only time. It was the only time the touch of another human was gentle on him. The maids cleaned him thoroughly. They also nursed any tears or bruises from hairs. Or bruises from the night before. They all did it quietly and unquestioningly, almost mechanical, as if getting railed to the point of getting torn was as normal as birds chirping or the sun rising. As an afterthought, Dean thinks that maybe it is. Why wouldn't it be? That was the purpose of an Omega, after all. But be open to their alpha's pleasure and to sire as many pups as they could in their lifetime. Dean accepted his fate for the millionth time, ignoring the similar bruises sported by Miriam on her neck. It's the same story in every household, royal or not.
See, I hate this. This is why I don't read this stuff anymore, because it's just inherently very misogynistic.
Yeah.
It's a man.
It's a lot of domestic abuse, so I don't read this shit anymore because I recognized that a while ago.
Yes, that is why we will not be reading the last section of this. It's just like it talks about the birth process, I think, a little bit. So we'll just be reading this bit that starts with Bella and then pausing and stopping afterwards.
Bella was perched on the king's lap when Dean entered the royal chambers of his mandatory afternoon stroll, carrying his two twin pups in both the hands. He greeted His Majesty and made his way to the eldest pup, who was playing with blocks on the far side of the room. Dean never liked having Bella next to his pups, but he did not have much of a choice when the king himself was fine with it. Well, more than fine, if his hand needing Bella's sex had anything to do with it. The Lord had full right to take whatever pleasure he wants, after all.
Where's Bella? I don't know.
I hate this. I hate it so much. I hate it. No, I'm done. I'm good.
Well, yeah, we're finishing there anyway.
I'm so glad.
Yes, I was just gonna say it's an interesting phenomenon because, like, I almost had to bring that up in that Supernatural, weirdly enough, like, I would look just for general Supernatural fanfics, and so many of them were either Sam or Dean pregnancy, either with each other or like something else. And like this was, believe it or not, one of the like low threshold ones that I picked. Because there's just a lot of stuff out there. Yeah,
so I'll be real. Fun fact, everyone. I used to be a part of the Supernatural fandom. I'm no longer a part of it for multiple reasons, including the fan fictions that was literally incest. Mm-hmm. That people would ship two brothers together, fully blooded brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It grossed me out a lot. Didn't understand it. And then this is also the fandom that introduced me to the Omegaverse. So you can see the kind of cesspool it was. It was the early 2010s, and I never wish to return, except there's only one fic in which I will want to reread again. But that's for a different episode.
Indeed it is. And speaking of that, how do we feel about enemies to lovers slow burns?
Big opinions on this one too. Wow, Lauren, you're really just hitting them all.
You are.
I'm telling you.
I like it when it's actually enemies to lovers slow burn and not
Preach,
like
baby.
I was about to say when it's not just like advertised as such, but it's really not.
Yes.
So many enemies to lovers are either actually like fated mates, can't be enemies to lovers. I'm sorry. Insta-love. If it's insta-love, it's not enemies to lovers.
It's not
I don't
enemies
care.
to lovers.
I don't care. And lastly, star-crossed lovers is not enemies to lovers. If they come from two different worlds and they're in love from the jump, it's star-crossed lovers. I do not care. Powerless by Lauren Roberts got so popular because of TikTok. It's not enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
it's not.
Exactly. I'm going to argue the same thing with Akatar. Guys, if only one person hates the other one, it's not enemies to lovers. If one person's being a bitch and they end up falling in love. Actually, is it bad that I'm looking at Zodiac Cupid.
What just happened?
Huh?
What just
The
happened?
book we just read. Zoda. What was it? The one we read in January.
Lunar Love.
Lunar Love.
No,
Yeah,
enemies to
Lunar
lovers.
Love. That's not enemies to lovers. It's not.
No,
No.
rivals to lovers.
Yes,
That's
they're
fine.
rivals. Meh. But don't say enemies. You want the best enemies to lovers representation?
The Cruel Prince.
Well, I haven't read that, so I'll give
She
you
tries
that.
to kill him more than once.
Yeah.
Hot.
The best enemies to lovers, and you have to watch it on television. It's a TV one. I'm gonna argue. Bridgerton season 2. Literally, they hate each other's guts. They are the least likely people to want to get together, and they do not want to get together, and yet they lust after another. Literally, the lines of he's like, "You will not be far enough away, for I will still, because that's not far enough." Because you occupy my mind and thoughts. I'm like,
It's
because they
spicy.
like, it's so spicy. It's so good. But that is a good enemies to lovers. And that's what I need when I say enemies to lovers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, oh my God, he's evil and he's kidnapped me, but he's kind of hot.
Yes. This may be controversial. And this is also not me saying that the movies were good because I have some weird opinions on them. I actually kind of understand the Reylo appeal with like Star Wars Rey and Ben Solo, because it is a pretty interesting enemies to lovers. I mean, they're literally trying to murder each other.
It
They're
would be
fighting to
if-
the death. Yeah,
I was gonna
and
say-
then
It would be
Do I?
if I was going to say it would be if there actually was chemistry between them.
ooh, I take offense to that. Listen,
I'm so sorry. Here's the thing. I've seen all 3 movies. I saw all 3. Literally did not get it. And then when they randomly started making out the third, spoiler alert, you should have already seen it if you haven't seen it. When they started like a kiss in like the 3rd movie, and I was just like, where did that come from?
interesting.
Domhnall Gleeson and the robot in Ex Machina.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
She kills him. So
Oh, beautiful.
Amazing. Well, you know, I personally am really fond of an enemies to lovers trope myself. And I found this fan fiction that is quite intriguing because it actually takes characters that would be enemies if they were normally in the same universe and stuck them in a fan fiction in which they are in the same universe. And these 2 characters are very near and dear to my heart. And it was incredible watching their romance blossom so well and so efficiently.
prediction. Insta love. Siblings.
So
Huh?
we will be reading When Alphas Collide by Addison on Quotev.
Lauren, did you write this?
I wish I had. I truly wish I had. Oh my god. This is like everything I want and more. It's a Twilight Five Nights at Freddy's crossover. Y'all ready?
Sorry,
Who wants to
can I read the description just really quickly because I find this funny?
Go for it.
Jacob Black, a wolf shifter and the youngest alpha in history of the Quilleti tribe in Washington, United States, has to go to an abandoned pizza restaurant to find the owner and talk about the land. Spoiler, he doesn't find the owner, but he does meet the love of his life, an alpha just like him. And then F you, Bella.
Oh my god.
And then I love this anime photo of Freddy.
Yep.
Specifically Glamrock Freddy. Thank you.
He just looks like regular Freddy to me, but that's...
The tag is Glamrock Freddy, so
I know, but it's not Glam Rock Freddy. If Glam Rock Freddy were that, he would be more gay.
WTF. I want Glamrock.
I know.
Yeah, come on.
More gay?
More gay. He needs
More
sequins.
gay.
He needs more sequins.
There are two speaking roles in this fanfic. There's Jacob, and then there's Glam Rock Freddy. So, what y'all want?
Okay. Flip
The
a
narration-
coin for us. Why don't you flip a coin for us?
Shit, I don't have.
Oh, okay. Do I have
a coin? I don't have a coin.
Lauren, just look up a coin flipper on.
I got you, babe. Heads or
Thank
tails?
Tails.
Tails.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Wait, let's clarify what it's going to be if we flip. Tails, we'll do Jacob since he actually has a tail.
Agreed.
Heads, Freddy.
All right. Heads, Freddy, tails, Jacob. Got it.
Okay, and I say tails.
It is tails.
Okay.
All right, so
Jacob.
you're Jacob.
I guess, am I Glam Rock or am I narrator?
Up to you, baby. What you want to be?
I can narrate.
Go for
I
it.
don't know what Freddy sounds like. I think Lauren has a better Freddy impression than me.
Don't. Vanessa? That's all I've got.
Gregory.
All right, we ready?
As will ever be.
What's the vibe? How am I reading
Dark
this?
and
Is this dark and
serious.
moody like the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob Black, the youngest alpha of the Quillowet tribe in Washington state, runs a nervous hand through his dark hair. For his first trial as the new alpha, Paul, the former alpha, ordered Jacob to scout a warehouse near the reservation. If it was abandoned, Jacob would report back to his pack so that they can burn it to the ground another time. If it was still being used, he would have to talk to the owner and negotiate the legality of their land deeds. Figuring that this was a simple territory dispute, Jacob had waved Paul's grumpy sourpuss face off and pushed the scouting trip further down his list of alpha duties for the day. But now he was finally here. He was starting to think that this trial was about to be really effing hard. The tall neon sign above him says Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. He looks at it with his chocolate brown orbs. A cartoon bear is above the text with a smile. There were no signs of life anywhere on the property. The parking lot was empty, and a big chain was wrapped around the front door. A condemned sign was on the door, and some police wanted tape was on the ground. Jacob wondered if Charlie Swan had been here. Some windows to the Pizzaplex had been shattered by local youths.
Kids. Shaking my head. SMH.
Jacob said huskily. I know that I say LOL, but SMH?
Kids.
Really?
SMH. Especially coming from Jacob Black. Shaking my head.
Where the hell have you been, SMH?
SMH.
He shrugs off some mystery goosebumps and walks sexily to one.
He did it on purpose.
It's giving my immortal just a little bit.
Oh, so much, and I love it.
It's good. And walks sexily to one of the broken windows. With his supernatural shifter ability, he jumps himself over the glass and lands on his feet. Inside of the Pizzaplex is worse. Electric cables swing from the rafters. Slices of pizza are rotting on paper plates. The bad cheese smell makes it smell worse than the Collins dead ball sacks.
Hello? Is anybody home?
Jacob yells.
I hope not, because it stinks of loser in here.
Tauntingly, usually gets his beta werewolf pups to come out from their hiding spots and hide and seek. Maybe the owner of this place was hiding too. Suddenly, Jacob hears a loud crash. Jacob hears a loud crash from the next room. Through the glass panes of the door to the kitchen, there is a blue glow that grows with every pounding step.
Oh, hell no.
The alpha swears before diving under a pizza party table. The doors slam open and out steps something big and robotic.
Gregory, is that you?
A voice calls. Do you want to read your thought?
Gregory? That's not my name.
Jacob doesn't say this out loud, though, because he's smarter than that.
He's definitely smarter than that, than having a distinct thought of Gregory. That's not my name.
That's not my name.
He's not talking to me.
Everybody in the world inherently is talking to me. That's weird that he wouldn't say my name.
He is the alpha, after all. Instead, he stays crouched and hidden under the table using his werewolf stealthing skills. He considers shifting to scare off this robot thingy, but he doesn't because it's probably just a robot some scientist built and it wouldn't have emotions to be scared. So he stays still and human.
I love how we progressed from reading this dark and serious to like slipping into the Maya Mortal voice.
Yeah, true.
My bad.
No, I want it. Oh, I know this game.
The robot says to itself. Its voice is very loud in this warehouse.
This is hide and seek. I love playing this game with you, Gregory. I will count to 10 now.
Then the robot begins to count. Jacob takes the chance to crawl out from under the table and to get a look at the thing. But to his horror, it's the bear from the sign outside.
Is that Freddy Fazbear?
He thinks to himself, and he is right.
Whatever. When it starts looking for me, I should jump out and tackle it and take it apart for scraps. Maybe this thing isn't the place's security system or something. It'll help me find the owner of this building.
He watches in dread as the bear-like animatronic swivels its head, its headlight eyes scanning the room. Jacob's heart begins to pound in his muscular chest. The robot's uncanny smile sends shivers down his spine. As Freddy finishes counting to 10, he starts to walk around the room. At first, it doesn't look like he knows where... At first, it doesn't look like he knows where it is meant to be going, but when it gets closer to the table that Jacob Black is under, it jumps into action and goes to attack Jacob.
Found you, Gregory.
It shouts in such a loud way that sets Jacob's teeth on edge. He panics as he realizes that his cover has been blown.
How? How did he not realize his cover was already about to be blown when he was walking towards the table?
Like 45 seconds ago. Before he can act, the Freddy the bear lurches forward with a jerky movement. Its arms outstretched towards him. Jacob's instincts kick in. He shifts into his massive wolf form just in time to evade the robot's big old metal hands. Jacob growls. He shows his big canine teeth and red orange fur. He gets down on his feet like Paul taught him to do when he first shifted, at the super impressive age of 16, and crawls in a menacing circle around Freddy. Freddy stumbles back and falls into the table behind it. Pizza flies all over the place, and it slips again, like it's a banana peel in a cartoon. The robot bear is now on its back legs, wide open in front of Jacob's face. Now on its back, legs wide open in Jacob's face since he is much shorter now as a wolf. It is then that the alpha sees a surprising hole in between Freddy's robot legs. Lauren!
No, Lauren.
This is enemies to lovers.
It has a weird fluid leaking out of it. It makes Jacob's massive wolf pee-pee quiver. Okay.
Oh, I didn't think. Maybe it's a wolf thing I didn't know about? I thought I was only in love with Bella. Could it be horned up, sexual style for a robot bear?
He thinks, panic filling his thoughts. Freddy slowly raises itself up on its arms to look at the alpha wolf in front of it.
Gregory, you look so different.
Jacob tries to tell this thing that his name is much cooler than Gregory. But he just growls and barks because he is a wolf.
Bark, bark, bark.
You sound different too.
You must not be Gregory. Gregory is a human child. You are much bigger. I did not know wolf humans could make such lovely sounds.
Freddy says. It blinks slowly. It's kind of sexy.
I have only been around. I'm trying to blink slowly. I've only been around other animatronic animals and have never had these thoughts before. This is interesting.
Jacob, feeling confused and horny as F, transforms back into his human form and stands before the...
Yeah, I'm definitely not Gregory. My name is Jacob.
He says. Freddy tilts its robotic head.
Jacob, what a fascinating name. I like the way it sounds.
Jacob stands awkwardly, brown orbs fixed on the strange fluid oozing from Freddy's hole.
I don't want to keep reading.
Yes, you do.
Oh my God. Look, I'm just here to figure out what's going on in this place. Do you know where the owner is?
He asks, hoping to distract himself from depraved, horned-up thoughts.
Jacob, there is no owner. There is no one left. It is only me here. Me and my friend Gregory who comes to visit. Though he has not come here in a long time. It does get lonely.
Freddy says, blue glowing eyes shyly looking at Jacob's still wolfy feet.
How are his feet still wolf? How does that work?
It's like a really slow transformation.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Get your Twilight Lord straight.
I'm so sorry. That's rough.
Jacob whispers, lost in thought. He suddenly felt guilty for wanting to confront that sad, lonely, handsome robot bear. There's no way it's his fault that this warehouse is abandoned and making problems for the reservation.
I'm sorry for bothering you. This was a misunderstanding. I can leave you to it.
From the floor, Freddy's mechanical hands quickly grabs Jacob's.
No, wait, Jacob.
A power and down sound comes from somewhere on Freddy's body. It sounds like a purr.
I want you to stay. I have never had feelings like this before. I need to do research. Yes, research to figure them out. Will you let me? A consent king, honestly.
Jacob's heart runs wild in his broad chest. He pauses, biting his juicy boy lip. He looks into Freddy. He looks into Freddy's glowing blue eyes and sees a lust that's just like his own lust. Then, as the two animal-human-like creatures look into each other's eyes deeply, a rush of love and protectiveness and obsession takes over Jacob's dingaling. It grows again. It's just as big as it is in his wolf form. Hey, Sid, you got a line, babe.
I don't want to read it.
Yes, you have to.
Yes,
You have to.
No, this can't be. I'm imprinting on a robot.
Ex-Alpha Paul had warned Jacob about this when he first shifted into his wolf skin.
Do you want to be
Jacob.
Paul? Yeah,
My Sigma.
Ashlyn, you get to be Paul.
Jacob, my Sigma. Maybe one day you will find your true mate. When you do, you will instantly know. It is a feeling I can't describe. I've never done alcohol or drugs, but I know it is better than that.
I have not done these things, but I will compare it to them.
Yes.
You will feel like you are alive for the first time. And it is only because of this other person who you are now in love with that you can be truly alive. This is imprinting.
Lauren, this can't be enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Fated mates doesn't
fated
count.
mates. Fated mates don't count.
Look at Lauren.
But the premise of this book.
No, fated mates don't count.
Jacob didn't believe
Go for it.
Paul when he said these things. He was in love with Bella Swan, his only love. He knew that what love was like. He knew what loss was like, because when Bella married that pale blood sucker, he felt his heart fall out of his chest and bleed on the floor. But he had never had this feeling with Bella, only with Freddy Fazbear.
Okay, Freddy. Let's make sweet hot sex.
He says, squeezing the robot's hand. Jacob gets on top of Freddy. He's already naked because his clothes fall off when he shifts into wolf form. That seems like a problem.
Yes.
Skill
Read
issue.
the next line. Read the next line.
Freddy was also naked because he doesn't wear clothes because he is a robot. Freddy grabs Jacob's head and pulls him into his mouth. Instead of biting his frontal lobe off, like older versions of Freddy had done before, long time ago, he kissed him. I'm so glad that we did the Freddy Fazbear episode.
I know. That's why I picked this one, because I was like, they'll get it.
We get it now.
Their lips are soft and move, even though Freddy is a robot. Jacob moans and hears the echo in Freddy's empty robot throat, which is open for the French kissing. Their tongues rub together for a while. It feels good, and they both moan.
I have a question. Do what?
You think Freddy's a robot?
See, I have a question. I'm picturing
I don't need more questions
regular
I don't want any more
metallic-
questions from you.
No, hear me out. I'm picturing regular Freddy in his robot form, but with like human flesh lips, like that filter on Snapchat where it's just the big human eyes and the lips that you can put on any picture.
I hate that.
And so he's like,
Lauren is banned from speaking.
Yeah, Lauren, you're banned now. Hey, Ashlyn, you know what you can do? You actually can mute Lauren since you are the owner
No.
of the channel.
we are all owners of the channel. I can unmute myself.
Can't.
Yes, I can. We have ownership. I gotta read Freddy Fazbear. You wouldn't dare.
Lauren is actively trying to speak, and she is muted, and I don't think she can unmute herself. Oh, wait. Okay, you're muted again. Let's see if you can unmute yourself. Yes, Lauren, something to say?
I muted you too. Get it.
Am I?
I took you off.
Rude.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
Apparently both. Jacob stops kissing the robot bear and says,
Do you want me to get inside you?
Do you want me to crawl inside you?
Freddy says,
Yes, my hole is where a human woman's hole for pleasure is. It is the same for animatronics like me.
Glad we cleared that up.
why?
I'm so glad.
Why? Why does he have a hole there?
And why was it leaking stuff already?
He
When
was
you first
wet.
came in. Already? That was fast. I think he knows
It's Jacob. It's Jacob. He was walking sexily up to the restaurant.
But he thought it was Gregory.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where I'm concerned too, but Jacob has never had sex because Bella rejected him for Edward Cullen. He wants to look good at the sex, so he nods like he has done it before and tries to find the hole again. His pee-pee touches something wet, and he thinks it's the weird liquid from earlier. He moves forward and is inside. It is lineed with flesh. And why? Why?
No.
Why?
No. I don't want
Why?
it. I don't want this. I
tell
don't
me
want
this is worse than New England clam chowder.
I feel like it is. When you bring in the word flesh, I get scared. It is lined with flesh.
And feels like what a human would feel like. If only Jacob knew what that was like. But now he knows,
Virgin.
because this is better. Freddy yells his name. Jacob yells Freddy's name too. Jacob bends back and forth, bends back and forth?
I'm picturing like in Roblox, like like you're T-balling or T-bagging.
making Freddie moan with pleasure from the motion of their two bodies making love in this warehouse. Jacob thrusts harder when Freddie asks him to. His orbs lock with Freddie's blue ones. The robot bear's mechanical moans fill the warehouse. Jacob feels himself preparing to orgasm.
Yep.
Suddenly, Freddie's body goes super hard and stiff. The whole body?
I guess.
The
He has paralysis.
And he let out a loud robotic orgasm shriek that sounds like the screaming jump scares from his old animatronic builds.
Jacob, know this.
In a final move that is so sexy and hot, Jacob collapses onto Freddie's warm chest. As they lay there, Jacob realizes that his encounter with Freddie has changed him. He knows that he will never be able to look at the world or human relationships the same way again. He also knows that he has to tell Paul that the Mega Pizzaplex needs to stay. They can't burn it down, or else Freddie will die. But Jacob is the alpha, and they will respect he has found his true mate. He is glad he has.
So wait, why would Freddie die if the place burns down? If they have to take it down?
What do we think?
Do we have another one left?
No.
We do. Awesome. Okay.
This is where we end it.
Truly?
But
Nope. There it is.
I do have one final surprise.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
I've been lying to you this whole time.
What?
What have you been lying about?
Obviously,
I knew you weren't Lauren.
I'm Freddie Fazbear. No. Obviously, the haha funny, right? We think the April Fool's joke is, we have these tropes, and then we're gonna read something that's a polar opposite, right? Haha funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's one other prank that I have pulled during this episode.
What?
What?
Do both of you still have that fan fiction open?
No, wait.
Was it Freddy Fazbear one?
Yeah.
I got no.
Lauren, no.
Well,
Please
Lauren, no.
reopen it.
it's reopened.
Look at the very top right corner of the white block where the fan fiction is. What time does it say it was posted?
3 hours ago.
Hmm?
It was posted 3 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, no. Did you write this?
Lauren,
Lauren, did you write this?
Lauren, did you write this?
April Fools! I got shit-faced plastered the other night, and I read a little bit of My Immortal,
Oh my god.
sat on it, and said, what if I did that? And then
my God.
wrote this, did not edit. I intentionally created spelling mistakes and grammatical errors to trick you into thinking it wasn't me. I tried to change the tense between sentences to make it sound like it was not a good writer. Yeah.
Wow.
And I created this whole new fan fiction account just to post it under the name of Addison. And if you look at her bio, or my bio,
My
I
name
should
is
say.
Addison. Addie for my friends. I'm 12 years old and want to be a writer one day. I mostly write for FNAF, both canon and non-canon. Love crossover fandoms. Glam rock Freddy forever.
I love you.
I love the profile picture I chose too. It's
I love you.
BDSM Freddy.
It's BDSM Freddy. I love it.
Do I have any? 4 people have read my story. I think it's all of us.
Yeah.
I think it's all of us.
We should make this link available when this episode goes live, though. So, listeners, if you would like to read this
When
fic,
alphas collide.
when alphas collide, you can. If you would like to read along, it's our first read along.
Oh my god! Maybe I should change Addison's profile to the Raunchy Power Hour profile because
Nope. You can keep it
our
as
names are
Addison.
on
It's
this
okay.
now.
Nope.
So I have learned today that Lauren uses quote of Excellent.
I will say, I was barred from Wattpad. They wouldn't let me make an account. AO3, you have to go through an approval process. In fanfiction.net, you have to wait 24 hours before posting something when you create an account. So this was my only option. I don't know if it's necessarily a clue, but I did get emails today from account creations of fanfiction.net, Wattpad, and AO3 before I got to this.
I love that for you.
What do you mean barred from Wattpad?
It won't let me make an account. No matter what I do, it says
banned, girlfriend.
I think I did. I don't know why. I don't post on Wattpad. I've never posted on Wattpad in my life.
I was about to say, what war crimes did you commit? Because there are some bad things written on Wattpad.
I have an unfinished Levi times OC Attack on Titan fanfic, which is supposed to be like a prelude, but that's it. And there's no sex. It was a serious fan fiction. But that's it. That's the only thing on that profile.
That's it. No serious fanfics are welcomed on Wattpad. That's only for AO3.
Exactly. I have a delicious track record. I'm like a ghost. I post on different sites.
Well,
you horrify me.
This is beautiful. Thank you, Lauren, for this. This was a truly amazing gift.
You're welcome. Just be glad I didn't have time to write every single one of them because I thought about it.
Oh God.
I wish you would have.
But April Fool's Day, thank you for reading my fanfic.
Thank you for letting us read it. Ashlyn, you can now say that you've read a piece of Lauren's fanfiction.
You can.
Yay! That's not the one I wanted, Lauren. It's not the one I wanted.
I know.
We're not getting that one. So this is the closest you're probably going to get.
Love you,
Lauren. Maybe it's like a present for one of the many upcoming things that I have going on in my life. You could gift me that fan fiction. I'll take a written copy. You don't have to I won't look it up. Pinky promise. Scout's honor.
You want to read it after what you just read?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll think on it.
Lauren, she actively reads Colleen Hoover. She eats those books up. So.
Okay.
No, that's it. And with that, guys, that is the end of April Fool's Night here on Raunchy Power Hour. Thank you all for listening in, and thank you, Lauren, for writing for us when alphas collide. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to see us read other horrendously interesting picks that Lauren has made us read, you can actually go listen to her birthday episode, which is a couple months back. Or if you just want to see us read other pieces of fan fiction, we have a lot of those. Those are under Tipsy Fanfic Night, and we've also just got a lot of other good book reviews. So go listen to those as well. But you can also go follow us on our socials to see what we're up to. We've got Instagram, we've got X, we've got YouTube, and we also have Twitch. Again, nothing is on there yet, but you could follow us on there if you wanted to. Why not? I mean, no harm, no foul. And you can listen to us anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And with that, I am also going to announce our next read. And you know what, guys? We're jumping right in, and I'm gonna howl at the moon like a cool werewolf. Hell yeah. Because guess what, guys? We're reading Bride by Allie Hazelwood. So see you later, you freaky fools. And as always, stay raunchy.